Hey peeps, it's Tripl-L, and today I'm here to talk to you about the 7 Deadly Sins, chapter 184, The Clash of Titans. Now, let me just say, this chapter did come out early. It came out on Saturday. I am sorry for coming late to this. Unfortunately, I planned my weekends around not having to do manga impressions, so when the chapter actually came out early, it was a really big surprise. I didn't think that the Fairy Tail chapter would come out early, because usually when the Shonen Jump comes out early, Fairy Tail's magazine comes out early the week after. So this was just a giant surprise. But thankfully, the chapters, well, at least for 7 Deadly Sins, isn't too complex. It's a very simple chapter. It's a very hype-worthy chapter. Like, my god, actually from this, I actually have quite a bit of an emotional investment in this fight already. So guys, just sit back, relax, let's talk about this chapter because I very much enjoyed it. It was a very fun chapter. So the things that this chapter gave us, there's a few little gems in here, and one of them is finding out about piety, or rather Zeldris' commandment. And it's a really interesting one. Pretty much if you turn your back on Zeldris, you're committing infidelity, you're committing treason to Zeldris and by extension the Demon King, and people just feel that, or they're compelled to follow Zeldris at that point. So now it's really interesting to know why Meliodas couldn't really run away when he was fighting with Zeldris and Estarossa, or having Zeldris in that vicinity. Meliodas didn't have a choice, he had to just stay there and take it. And this time we do get just more confirmation that if Estarossa feels anger towards his enemy, his curse is going to hit him, or rather not curse, his commandment is going to rebound on him. So overall, very interesting little bits of information that we got. We got also Fraudrin saying that among the humans there's powerful individuals. We don't know if he was talking specifically about one person or if he was talking about multiple people. So that'll be for the next, that'll be for another chapter. I think it's more about a bigger amount of people because we know people like Zarathustra exist. So, okay, that's pretty much everything this chapter gave us in terms of concrete information. But let's talk about Estarossa and Escanor, because oh my gosh, man, that was just so fun to watch. It was cool to see Escanor get beat up a little bit, you know, let Estarossa get some hits in, but then we see like Escanor just whack him, and yeah, he blocks, but he goes down like a little rock. But it's just funny. The interactions between the two are also very genuinely funny, because we have Escanor, who's just the most arrogant person in the world, and Estarossa, who doesn't feel anger and can only laugh at the situation, that there is actually someone who could bring him to his knees. And my gosh, man, I'm really worried for Escanor. Yeah, the end of the chapter makes it seem like Escanor is going to be okay, because we found out also, this is a pretty big thing I guess, is that Estarossa has a variation of full counter where he can reflect physical damage. Yeah, that's cool. But the reason I'm actually more scared for Escanor is, well, I think 2 factors. One, I still don't know what time of day it is. I don't know if we're going towards pinnacle power or we're like going down towards the sunset. No one seems to be calling that out, so maybe we're going towards pinnacle, or like his maximum power, which is good because that means he'll only get stronger. But at the same time, we kind of have this idea of what Escanor can do, and Escanor is also on the side of the heroes. Because of that, this is kind of scary because we don't know what Estarossa can do. We don't know if he's lying. We don't know if he's got tricks up his sleeve. We saw that he pulled out his sword. We saw that he's getting serious with Escanor because Escanor can take it. As we saw Escanor say, "Oh, no wonder I felt pain. That was my attack reflected back at me." As expected of my attacks. Oh man, Escanor is the best. His dialogues are the best when he's like this. Anyway, Escanor and Estarossa. The problem here is just we don't know what Estarossa can do. Estarossa can really pull anything out of his sleeves and use that to justify his win against Escanor. But conversely, we could get just Escanor winning, which would be great. It would be absolutely great, but we just don't know what Estarossa is capable of. And because of that, Estarossa is a very dangerous factor in all of this. I really don't want to see Escanor go down, especially with him figuring out to use his sun-based power or at least its magical variety. And it was really cool seeing Escanor actually create a sun, and his closing line of yeah, he's not gonna be the one to die. It is so cool, man. It's such a fun chapter. I am so excited for the next chapter. I really enjoyed this one. Let's see. What else can I say about this chapter besides gush over how awesome Escanor is? I guess seeing him make a mini sun is a pretty big deal. Like, that was cool, man. Like, if he just flinged that at his head, I think that'd be a cool little sequence. But I think he also used it halfway through the battle, but I'm not sure if that was actually the sun magic or if that was like an image that Estarossa felt as if Escanor has the might of the sun behind it. It's also neat to see that the environment around Escanor is kind of heating up, which makes me want to assume that we are heading towards Escanor's peak, in which case it's going to be freaking awesome. Man, this is cool. It's cool to see Escanor doing this, and this is another reason I think, now that I think about it, why I'm a bit scared that Escanor might get beaten somehow. It's because the other sins are nowhere near as strong as Escanor. At least Bond can kind of make up for it by stealing power, but a lot of the others are just kind of weak. Merlin's kind of a question mark. Gowther, we don't know. King is definitely weak. Diane is, yeah, whatever. Diane's there. Not in this chapter, but I mean just kind of just hanging around there in power. So Escanor is a big hurdle towards the other sins getting screen time. And in terms of a story perspective, I'm very worried for Escanor for that reason, if they're going to try to sideline Escanor in this fight. But then again, we haven't had Escanor for like 100 chapters where the other sins got a lot of time to play and have fun in the sun. So you know what, let Escanor mow down a few more of the commandments. I think that'd be great. Oh man, that'd be absolutely excellent. Okay peeps, let's just end it there. As you can tell, I very much love this chapter. It is fun. It is a very fun chapter. I'm excited to see what happens next. I want to see Escanor overcome this. I'll be okay if Estarossa wins as long as Escanor does not get like a crippling defeat. Like, I do not want Escanor out of the fight for 20 chapters. It's okay to do that to Meliodas, but it's not okay with Escanor because Escanor hasn't been around that often and he's still the most mysterious character in the sins. Yeah, he's still the most mysterious because he still does that thing where he runs away like towards midday. So I kind of want to see more of that. Oh, and I just want to say, I love Escanor with his mustache. The mustache is just doing so much for me. Like, man, I don't know why Merlin hasn't jumped on that. The mustache, man, it's Mario power, except it's solar power when it's Escanor. Anyway, that was just for fun. Peeps, tell me what you think about this chapter. Like, Escanor's awesome. That's pretty much the theme of this chapter. And he's arrogant and he's proud, but he makes it work. Anyway, till next time, friends, have a good day.